stand up. I'll just hold this end up. Walk in for him. I work in a place where he came to school and we got talking once and said he hadn't finished it yet, so I offered to do it.
Wow.
I teach up at Southport, which is in Indianapolis.
Yeah, we did a festival there.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. At the park.
Oops.
Right by that good donut store.
Hey, doggy.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, look at it!
Chestnut quit.
We got Mark's dog at our house, right? Mark Adams' dog at our house because they're on vacation, and he, the little dog's been barking like that a lot.
Is he? And what are these two little blocks?
Well, I had to take some off the front. It was
That's
leaning
fine.
back way too much, so
Yeah.
it was odd. I kind of build it when it's on a little platform.
Yeah,
I kept
right.
building, and I took it off and put it in the rockers, and I went, oh my
I
God.
had it that far back.
Dude, it was and I knew you weren't taller than me,
No.
so so you knew that I did it. I took off
Yeah, I
with
did.
that much off the front.
We had it way back
It was.
where I'd go to sleep in it like.
Oh, it'll still lean back when you rock in it, but it was. I mean, when it sat there with nothing on it, it was like.
Yeah, it's like that.
It was way too crazy.
I remember it.
But so I had to take some off.
Oh, that's great. Looks amazing.
And I'm sure you can polish it a bit. It has a little bit of it was a solvent with
That's fine.
wax solvent stuff on it. So
That mahogany was certainly easier than that tulip.
Yeah.
The guy behind me had a tulip. He was taking a mallet and getting that tulip and it wasn't budging.
Yeah.
It was so hard.
I've done them in cherry and
Yeah.
Holy moly.
walnut.
This chair
And,
made just for me, just for my body. It was great, except you got one of the slats in the back upside down, I can tell. No, I'm teasing. It's poking me in my back.
Your back that
One of them's upside down.
And after talking to Mark, I said, you never know because you can make so many choices of what you're going to do with it
Yeah,
after you get going. And
it's great.
That looks beautiful.
Well, it's not the same as when it left here.
No,
it looks super.
that's nice.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Thing's huge. It's a big daddy rocker.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and you would know a little bit of it. Unfortunately, sometimes some of the little blemishes don't show up until the finish hits.
Oh no, yeah, I know about it. Plus, you're never gonna have it out in the bright sunlight. You know, it's gonna be in a house where it's dark. Great. Any trouble on the glue up?
No, that's the only thing. I went down and asked Mark to help me when I went to glue it up. That was because you can't do that one person. So
Right.
I did it at home, other than gluing it up and then spraying it a couple days ago.
Well, Mark had his hands in there, it makes it more special too.
He wasn't as much help as he should have been.
Yeah, well, I know that.
Uh,
But he's a little busy. That's mahogany.
Mm.
you gotta find a spot for it that has enough tail room.
Yeah, oh, we'll figure that out. You might put me on the back deck. Make me sit on the deck.
You can put your jacket in that corner right there.
Come on in and sit down.
Set it over here or something.
Well, I need to introduce him to.
I'm sorry. This is Herman Bueno.
Hello.
Hello, Herman. Paul Jansen. My dad's hiding over there. Don. His name's
Hello.
Don too. This is my brother Roman.
Okay. So I work at the school and he comes to some. Had that one year where he came a lot. Sorry.
My wife,
Great.
Carla.
I remember seeing you
Yeah.
at the school.
And this is my wife Sherry.
Okay.
My daughter Caitlin. She's been to school.
Caitlin, this is Herman.
Oh, she came up for a class or something?
No, she
Just
came
stop
up
by.
whenever I received
Oh, that was your night?
your award.
Yeah. They stunned you a little bit that night.
Yeah, I did.
He almost
So
started.
Herman, where are you from?
I live right near Center Grove. My daughter goes to Center Grove High School, So south, like just south of Indianapolis, it's Indianapolis, Greenwood, Center Grove area. And then I teach at Southport.
Okay. Sherry and I were just coming back from Indianapolis last night about 10 o'clock.
We were up at Westfield.
Okay,
Westfield,
on the
yeah.
north side.
North side.
Yeah.
I know where I'm gonna sit for lunch.
It's funny, when I was in school, Westfield was really kind of a hillbilly place. And it's, I mean, everything in Hamilton County, I mean, Carmel, of course, is Monster, and Hamilton Southeastern, and Fishers, and Westfield, everybody up there is, it's big.
Cities grow up to
Yeah.
even now, and you can't hardly tell one stops and the other.
Yeah.
Turned off.
Westfield still seems to have a small town atmosphere.
Yeah, it's the smallest of everything in Hamilton County
Yeah.
up there.
Okay. Carmel is really seems to be kind of a ritzy, well-established place.
Well, whenever I sat in school right here, Borden, I mean, Penn Davis has almost 5,000 kids, and then Carmel's second at 4,600 or some bizarre number.
So how was driving down here? Was it snowing?
It was, and when I took off, it was snowing a lot at our house, and I thought, oh, it's going to be better as soon as I get out and get on the interstate. But between Columbus and, actually before I got to Columbus and Seymour, there were like about 5 or 6 slide-offs. It got really miserable for a little bit, and I started thinking, oh, this was not move. But I was already 45 minutes into it, so I just called Paul. I said, I'll slow down and keep going.
What's the water? Is the water
You know,
going?
I remember when we had that, it was back here like this, you know, just touching my toe like
Yeah.
that.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
though.
it was way back
Yeah.
there.
I don't know who, do you remember who helped you put it on the rockers?
I remember who was working in the class at that time. We're all helping each other with
Yeah.
the chairs. Everybody's chair was a little different. One lady in the class, no,
What year was that?
probably 7.
Now, how did you determine what the chair characteristics needed to be for your body?
You have to measure everything.
You gotta measure things.
Okay.
Like I said, it for him, sometimes I get him in the garage, it's actually little Tupperware tubs.
Okay.
I stacked a couple of them, and the chair was built on that the whole time, so I could work on it. And when I finally put the rockers on it and put it on the floor, in my mind, it went, oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
And the only way I was able to fix it, I said those
They-
2 chunks of
they
wood,
make
it was
They
just,
got these jigs.
yeah, it was just, with this in the front, it made it,
Oh,
and I knew he wasn't taller than me.
Right.
It just made the front so
yeah.
crazy tall, but everybody comes out different.
Yeah.
I don't think Mark liked my design of the handles, but you never know what someone wants.
I'll tell you what, this is very interesting because the way it's all, it's like it's made of one, it feels like it's one continuous
It's,
piece.
Yeah.
it's sculpted.
That's sculpted.
That's both, yeah, it was all done with
I mean, this all feels right in here the same. I mean, there's no,
Yeah.
you don't feel any edge or ridge.
This is
at
called
all.
a hip joint right here.
Okay.
It's the strongest joint in woodworking. And, anyway, it starts off square.
Yeah.
And then after you get that accomplished, you have to round everything. Your files.
Nice, isn't it?
It's somewhere
I
around
took some pictures along the way, I didn't have an office send them to
somewhere
you.
around 130 hours.
So this wasn't turned on the lathe. This-
No, all of the file.
Oh,
the file.
so it's all handcrafted.
And it's a Sam Maloof design.
Okay.
Maloof has passed away
Yeah.
about 2 years ago.
Maybe 2
It
years
was
ago.
like 94. But even up until the time he died, he was getting $20,000.
He made this style famous, even though they've been made that way before, because when you hear all the stuff at Mark's school, that joint's been around since Egyptian times, but he made it famous just in this design of the chair.
Well, I like those, what do you call that, the one piece, the rocker part?
Yeah.
That is really the way that sweeps all the way back, and kind of goes in. I like that kind of streamlined.
That's all in the design when you set it up.
See his new chair?
Oh, did you make that?
Yeah, I made it, but at school, woodworking school, but Herman offered to help finish it for me. He did all the shaping and sculpting to it. hours and weeks.
It's actually, I think it's about a week. It was like 2 days when I was on fall break, and then 2 days at Thanksgiving break, and then about 3 days here. That's usually about what most people take, about an extra week when they go home.
I've got.
I got there a little quicker than some people just because if you've done enough of them, you can cheat and use a grinder some.
Yeah.
And at school, sometimes people use a grinder and they overdo it. And when you've gone too far, you've gone too far.
Take off, but it's hard to have on.
Now, I would take a chair like that, custom made, if that was available in a retail setting, commercial setting, that would be a valuable.
Yeah, they get that way.
Okay, keep that up. It's
But
on.
the whole idea is to build them to fit the person.
Right.
Building them for. You know,
Did
if
I have put it in sooner?
Caitlin comes over here and sits in it, it's not going to fit her.
It fit me.
Paul said it felt comfortable. I got one at home that I like, and for some reason Paula doesn't
They're warm, but it's.
like it at all. But she felt that one felt good to her.
I wish you could have come.
Yeah, we got both girls at home, so
Maybe she
she's
doesn't
been
like
home.
Mexican food.
No, Amy's home from college, and then
Gonna miss out on some good food.
Remember, Shoni, when we went to Pella, Iowa, when you went to that's a Dutch community. Anyway, they have a little Dutch heritage thing there every year, big tulip festival. There have been, there probably still is, cobblers, and they would make wooden shoes to fit an individual. Every pair was different because they handcrafted them to fit the person's foot.
Yeah.
sometimes you can go terribly wrong with this. Sometimes the way their real designs are, sometimes that little ridge down the middle is almost a little too pronounced, and then I dulled yours down a bit from where it was. And some people just feel that more. He's been at school. We've had people that aren't that big. They keep making the seat wider and wider and wider. They think they got to be that big, and you don't, because those chairs are only 18. That one's probably 26.
Yeah, 24 or somewhere in there.
Somewhere up there, yeah. 23, I bet.
Some room to grow.
I don't want to be grown. My wife was asking earlier if I knew where Bueno was, what type of.
My dad is Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah, they came from Sevilla, Spain.
Spain.
And then all of them lived in, now it's already old from the map, Anmore, West Virginia, coal mining area. Long ago.
You get the video good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy, that's pretty.
It's amazing, how different it looks as soon as you put that spray on it, or the finish on it. That was lacquer, by the way. Lacquer and then a wax finish over that.
You calm down, bud.
So at least it can be, some finishes you can't hardly fix if something happens after the lacquer, you can take it off. They hold up well. They've got a couple of rockers that are now 20
What's that?
years old, and they've
Mahogany.
never had to do a whole lot to them.
Yep.
Mahogany is the grain structure, and it's kind of like working with clay. It's not as hard to shape.
Somehow I thought mahogany was darker.
They always put that really dark stain on it. All the old-fashioned stuff.